we're going to be replacing the stock catalytic converter with this Burke high flow cat. It's going to help the exhaust flow better. It's going to help the engine sound better. It's going to make, well, hopefully it doesn't make it louder, but I think the OEM cat restricting the flow a little bit actually makes it louder, but we'll find out. We're going to see if the neighbor's going to hate us more or like us a little bit better. But I don't think the stock cat's ever been touched, so I'm going to be PB blastering the bolts to make sure that I can take them off without stripping anything or breaking anything. So that's going to take a little while to let it just sit. So I'm going to jack the car up and spray some PB blaster. So I put a little box underneath just to make sure I catch a lot of the drip. Mostly on the nut, just because since the cat's further up, I'm actually going to jack the car up further up. Got a jack stand right there as well to make sure I can get to it a lot easier, because it actually lifts the car up a little bit higher than from the back. Okay, so it looks like the person that tried to take these off before me started stripping the bolt already, or started stripping the nut already. So yeah, it's gonna be a little bit harder to do, but that shouldn't be too big of a deal because we got vice grips. And I don't think this thing's ever been changed either. So, and these, that's a 15 millimeter on this end, and that is a 13 on that end. So I'm gonna use some brute force to try to make this happen. That was a lot quicker than I thought it was gonna be. So I broke it loose within one try. Pretty quick. So. Okay, so that's pretty loose already. All right, I'm gonna try to take the O2 sensor off next. I don't know what size it is, but I think it's a 19. Let's see if that's big enough. Nope, a 19 is not big enough, so it's going to be a 21, more than likely. I'm going to look for a 21 if I have one. I didn't have a 21, but I have a really big crescent wrench, so this should work. So let's see if I can get this O2 sensor off. Okay. Whew, okay. It's twisting. That's good. So that was a good sign, actually, because it twisted very easily. So I'm gonna actually unplug it so I can just twist it all the way off without having to worry about the cable breaking. Be okay. No? Yeah. Now that I've got it pretty much loose, I don't have to worry too much about that one. And now I've got to worry about these that have been, oh, well, that could be a problem. So that one was snapped off already. These were probably just reused and they got really rusty. So that could be the exhaust leak that I've been hearing. That's probably it, honestly. So these bolts needed a little bit more convincing than I was originally planning, but bringing out my trusty Dremel. I'm going to be cutting into the nut. Almost there. so you guys can see the slit in the bolt. So we're getting really close to getting it down to the bottom, because that relieves the pressure and we should be able to just keep twisting it. And I'm gonna do the same thing over here once I get this one off. Okay, so the Dremel didn't work, so and I'm gonna kind of drill through the bolt. I'm gonna use my hammer drill, and hopefully this will do. Alright, so third tool, we're gonna do an oscillating cutting tool, and with the metal blade, and hopefully that will cut it. So I actually just dremeled it, found better bits, and actually cut the nut off. And I used the pry bar to actually get under and broke the head of it off. It's a yeet bar at this point. There it is. Found it. Dan didn't help. He managed from afar. Look at that. Like, that thing basically welded itself onto there. No wonder I couldn't get it off. That's terrible. I finally just broke the other one off. Whew, okay. Good thing I'm not using that cat again. Okay, well, if I steal my own cat thieves will not be able to steal mine. But that's the OEM one, and that's the Burke high flow cat one. But yeah, we should be good to go. I'm tired, exhausted, so no pun intended, exhausted, get it. But yeah, new exhaust gaskets, and we should be good to go. So I'm gonna use some Liqui Moly anti-seize to put on the nuts and bolts, so that way we don't run into the same issues when we take these off next time for any reason. Put a little bit of anti-seize. On the end of this bolt. A bit more right there, and then I'm gonna put the nut on it. That way it'll spread that evenly throughout the end of the bolt and the nut. I'm gonna do that with all of them. So put a little bit of anti-seize on the O2 sensor as well. Be careful not to put it on the actual sensor itself. But yeah, that's it, and then we are gonna put it back in and tighten everything up. We should be good to go. I hope you guys enjoyed that video of me putting the high flow cat on the S2000. I had a lot of problems, a lot of issues that I had to go through. I used so many different types of tools, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the new sound clip as well. Whether you guys like it or not, please put a comment down below and see, or tell me what else I should do to the exhaust, or if it sounds good as is, honestly. But yeah, thank you so much, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace. Actually sounds exactly the same to me, so doesn't change the sound at all. If anything, it actually made it quieter.